Sam Tompkins is a artist that is vulnerable and honest, and I guess isn't scared to talk about his feelings. It all started, I was in a shop with my friends and I couldn't afford a hat, and they dared me to go sing on the street, and I went out and did just that, which was pretty nerve-wracking, but I'm glad I did it because I've now 11 years later got a career, because I came back into the shop about 20 minutes later and was able to afford the hat with a lot of work, a lot of songwriting, a lot of heartbreak and loss and all of this. I like sort of found who I was and what my music meant, and yeah, I'm now here 10 years later and feeling good about it. Well, since I was younger, when I was little, I always loved my sister's musical taste, and I guess she really liked the 2000s R&B stuff that was coming out. Like, you know, you had Usher, you had Justin Timberlake's first album, and you had Chris Brown's debut album and all of that. That was all very important to me when I was younger. And as she got older, I guess she discovered Bruno Mars's music. And that first album, Doo-Wops and Hooligans, was really important to me. And there's so many songs. I think the first song I ever covered that's on any sort of recording device is Just the Way You Are. I love that album. Yeah, I remember I was just bored in my living room and I thought, I haven't posted in a while. I should probably do a cover or something. So I just set up my camera and I was like, Talking to the Moon, that's a good idea, because I feel like people would know that, but it's not like the obvious Bruno Mars choice, you know, that you've got The Way You Are, you've got Uptown Funk and all of his major hits that he's had over the years. And I thought Talking to the Moon would be a good idea, and it was. It really was. It just sort of took off, and yeah, so lucky that it did, because it brought so much to my life, you know. Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been so good to have that finally. I feel like it was a weight that just got lifted on my shoulders as soon as I finally recorded the full thing and got it out. And, you know, it was more like, you know, I don't want there to be another viral moment where someone can't go and listen to that and hear the whole thing, you know. So you never know when that's going to happen, when the next one is, so, or if there is ever going to be one, you know. So I'm just happy that it's out and people can just listen to it and gravitate towards it over time. I guess similar to how I described my who I am as an artist, like very vulnerable, honest, stripped back at times, but also like not afraid to try different things. Like I think on this album it has definitely been that a lot. It's been a lot of experimenting, and there's some songs that sound completely different to one another, but the general somber feeling and like the honesty, like I think shines through in the lyrical contents and the singing. So I'm yeah, I feel really proud of the whole thing that I've been able to build up over these years. I wrote about 250 songs for the album, and then we whittled it down to 16. And I think that was just a process of, you know, finding the idea of the song or the concept, figuring out what that meant to me, and writing as deeply and as personally as I possibly could. And then yeah, when we got to the end of it, it was literally a case of like, what is our favorites, what are our favorites, what are going to go on this project and what aren't. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, the album title, Hi, My Name Is Insecure, you know, it comes from a song that is about being at a party and feeling like you need a crutch to get through that situation. And like, as much as that's like a really important concept for the album, the actual concept of the album, and that is just the title, is Hi, My Name Is Insecure. And for me, when I hear that or say that, I think back to have you ever seen 8 Mile? I always think back to that film, and I think about that rap battle scene at the end where Eminem's character lists off all the things that his opponent is going to say about him to drag him down.
Yeah.
And then by doing that, he takes full ownership of those things. The album title, Hi, My Name Is Insecure, is kind of doing that. It's sort of saying like, hey, I'm insecure, and that's fine. And that means that you can't use those things against me anymore. I've taken ownership of them. You can't have them anymore. They're mine. I'm insecure, that my insecurities are mine, they're not yours, to own and do whatever you want with them. So it's sort of like taking back that ownership of like, insecurities sometimes come from like people being nasty to you about things. And like I remember there's a really good song by a artist called Victoria Canal called Shape, and she says something along the lines of like, it just only takes like one kid to liken you to a boss, and that's it. Body dysmorphia for life. Like it's like you could be like a kid and someone says one little thing and it like causes a chain of events that lasts your whole life. You can't get rid of this feeling. And I think that's most of my insecurities come from things that I've heard from people along the way from being very young. And I think me putting this album out and it being the introductory to who I am, and not being called, "Hi, my name is Sam Tompkins," it's, "Hi, my name is Insecure." It's like, I'm just bearing my soul here, and if you like it, then you'll hopefully stop by and stay. But if you don't, that's fine as well. When I wrote the song "Thank God You Talked to Me," I felt very proud because I really liked the songwriting there, and I felt like it was like a really special love song, and it really really described the moment that me and my girlfriend finally me and my girlfriend became people that wanted to spend time together. Like it really described that moment, and I was really lucky to have that moment, and I love that. And I was saying earlier how nice that will be, like one day to show to my children. Hopefully one day that'll be really nice. This is how I met your mum. I felt really proud when I'd finally whittled it down, and I listened to it back on my private link for the first time, because often when I was writing it, like I store all my music in my notes app, and when you do that, like when a song finishes, you have to like stop and like forward it to the next song. It doesn't like automatically do that. And it was like the first time I ever heard it, and I didn't have to pick my phone up or disrupt any of the moments. I just listened to it top to bottom, and I walked, and it was a little bit rainy. I remember I walked in the rain, and I listened to it, and I was going through quite a lot of the time, and I remember just thinking, wow, I've like really done this. Like this is my debut album. This is the thing that so many artists don't get to the chance of doing, and it just made me feel, and it made me be rich. And I like, when I listened to it, I was like, yeah, there's so many retrospective points in that, and I've showed so much gratitude to my come up in songs like "Time Will Fly" and songs like "See Me," where I'm like honest about who I am as a person. Like that's something that the person before writing this album, version of me, the version of myself before I wrote this album, would never have thought he'd be talking about. But I am, and I'm sat there, and I've grown, and I've become a man whilst writing this album, and I've dealt with loads of stuff, and I've become who I want to be in the process of this album. And I think that's, again, coming back to this, "Hi, my name is Insecure," it's like that's quite a secure thing to do, is to say that you're insecure, you know what I'm saying, and like openly admit it. So I think there's growth in that. I think the whole thing has been a real proud moment, honestly, to get any way, shape or form to be getting in this process of writing an album and making it and delivering it, and hopefully if all goes well. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a record store here in the UK, a record store tour, which is really fun. And then I'm supporting my friend Miles Smith in the US in September to October, and then I'm doing my own UK and Europe tour in November to December. So it's like a lot of touring and a lot of shows, but I'm like super excited for it. Yes, my hidden talent is that I'm like really good. Like, do you know what a tech deck is? It's like those mini skateboards. I am actually like pretty good at those.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time on those when I was younger, and like every now and then I go through phases where I order one online and then get obsessed with it, and then whatever. But that's like my hidden talent, is that I go hard. I shred on a tech deck.